The business service catalog is the link between the services offered to the client and the internal operating procedures. Therefore, the way an organization defines the service offering to the customer does not influence the way that organization performs the internal operations. This way each customer may feel that the organization offers service that suits their needs.
The primary objective of the business model is to arrange the internal operating procedures in such a way that the client receives a service that could be unique to that client. Doing it in this way, it does not matter how many different business models are implemented, the operating procedures always remain the same for the team that has to deliver that service. The way this is done can be described using the following diagram. The primary objective of the business model is to arrange the internal operating procedures in such a way that the client receives a service that could be unique to that client. Doing it in this way, it does not matter how many different business models are implemented, the operating procedures always remain the same for the team that has to deliver that service. The way this is done can be described using the following diagram. A business model could consist of many business services. A business service is an option that a client can select from his or her portal. So it is important that each business service is described in a way that the client understands it. The stages is defined in such a way that it indicates the progress of the service request through its life cycle. A service is the link between the stage for the business service and the operating procedure that can be executed by a specific team. This is the link between what a client may request and the internal operations of the organization. A client, sometimes known as a customer, is the recipient of a service delivered by the organization. A client may or may not be a consumer, but the two notions are distinct, even though the terms are commonly confused. A client purchases services, and a consumer uses them. An ultimate client may be a consumer, as well, but just as equally may have purchased items for someone else to consume. In this system, the client is the legal entity with whom the organization contracts to deliver the service. As an example, a legal entity named BE is registered as the client. The client engagement represents the service level agreement that is a part of a service contract, where the business services are formally defined. A client may have a number of different engagements. For example, a client may have an agreement with the organization to provide relocation and assignment services for the next 2 years. The services that must be delivered to the client are grouped into a number of areas. In the system, it is referred to as functional areas. A functional area may represent a directorate, department, phase of a project, business process, etc. For example, the client engagement are divided into 2 functional areas. They are relocation services and assignment services. Each one of the functional areas is assigned a business model. By assigning a business model for each functional area, the system can prepare the business service catalog for each client. Once the business service catalog has been generated, the client representatives will see the business services appear in their portal.
In conclusion, the business service catalog allows the organization to deliver a service to the customer in a unique way, without changing the internal operation of the organization.